The Green River Killer. The Green River Killer is one of the most prolific and infamous serial killers in American history, responsible for the deaths of at least 49 women in the Pacific Northwest. Gary Ridgway, the man behind the moniker, eluded law enforcement for nearly 2 decades before his arrest in 2001. His gruesome crimes, marked by a pattern of targeting vulnerable women, particularly sex workers, left a lasting impact on the region and the field of criminal profiling. Gary Leon Ridgway was born on February 18, 1949, in Salt Lake City, Utah. He had a troubled childhood, characterized by a tumultuous relationship with his domineering mother and a father who often spoke negatively about sex workers. Ridgway exhibited disturbing behavior from a young age, including setting fires and stabbing a young boy when he was 16. Despite these early warning signs, he managed to graduate from high school and later joined the U.S. Navy, serving in Vietnam. Ridgway's killing spree began in 1982, primarily in the Seattle and Tacoma areas of Washington state. His victims were predominantly young women who were sex workers or runaways, making them particularly vulnerable. Ridgway would often pick up his victims in his truck, gain their trust, and then strangle them, usually with his bare hands or with ligatures. He would then dispose of their bodies in remote wooded areas, many of which were near the Green River, earning him the nickname the Green River Killer. The first bodies were discovered in the Green River in July 1982, prompting an intensive investigation by local law enforcement and the FBI. Despite the efforts of the Green River Task Force, which included notable figures such as FBI profiler Johnny Douglas and future Seattle Police Chief Norm Stamper, the killer remained elusive. Ridgway's methodical approach and the transient nature of many of his victims made it difficult to establish patterns and gather evidence. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, the body count continued to rise, with Ridgway claiming the lives of dozens of women. He often returned to the dump sites to engage in necrophilia, a practice that further complicated the investigation. The task force interviewed numerous suspects and even collaborated with Ted Bundy, another infamous serial killer, to gain insights into Ridgway's behavior. However, despite these efforts, the Green River Killer remained at large. A breakthrough came in 2001 when advancements in DNA technology allowed investigators to re-examine evidence from the crime scenes. DNA samples from Ridgway matched evidence found on several victims, leading to his arrest on November 30, 2001. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Ridgway eventually confessed to 71 murders, although he was convicted of 49. His confessions provided chilling details about his methods and motivations, revealing a deeply disturbed individual who derived pleasure from the control and domination of his victims. In a plea deal designed to avoid the death penalty, Ridgway cooperated with authorities, leading them to the remains of additional victims and providing information on unsolved cases. On December 18, 2003, Ridgway was sentenced to 48 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus an additional life sentence for tampering with evidence. The case of the Green River Killer had profound implications for law enforcement and the field of criminal profiling. It highlighted the importance of forensic science, particularly DNA analysis, in solving cold cases. The investigation also underscored the challenges of tracking and apprehending a serial killer who targets marginalized and vulnerable populations. Ridgway's capture and conviction brought a measure of closure to the families of his victims, although the pain and trauma of their losses endure. The Green River Task Force's relentless pursuit of justice, despite the many obstacles, stands as a testament to the dedication and perseverance of law enforcement officers. As we delve into the harrowing case of the Green River Killer on True Crime, we will explore the intricate details of Ridgway's crimes, the extensive investigation that ultimately led to his capture, and the enduring impact of his actions on the victims' families and the broader community. Join us as we navigate the dark and disturbing story of Gary Ridgway, a man whose name has become synonymous with one of the most chilling chapters in the annals of American crime.